What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your friendly neighborhood ELT here, and this is some major breaking news. I did not see this coming at all today. I don't think anybody's seen this coming, and I'm honestly, I'm shocked. I am shocked that this is actually happening, but reading the article right now, this is from IGN. It says, breaking, Spider-Man out of the MCU, Marvel, Sony can't reach a deal. Kevin Feige is out as a Spidey producer. That's... wow, dude. I mean, really? Spider-Man Far From Home is, the highest grossing Spider-Man movie of all time. It's obviously within the MCU. It made over $1 billion. And Sony is just like, yep, we're out. It's funny and sad at the same time. Sony's just like, we are out. I can't believe it. Continue to read the article. According to Deadline, Marvel Studios will not produce any further Spider-Man films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe due to an inability between Sony Pictures and Disney to reach new terms that would have given Disney a co-financing stake moving forward. So obviously Disney wanted a little bit more, and Sony was like, yeah, we're gonna just take our boy home back to Sony. Even though Spider-Man's a Marvel thing, but the movie rights belong to Sony. Maybe they could get the TV rights back too. Full TV rights. Cancel Marvel Spider-Man. Bring back Spectacular Spider-Man. I'm thinking way too much into this. I know the Spider-Verse people are creating their own TV shows, and I'm really looking forward to that because we all know Into the Spider-Verse is just beautiful. It's a beautiful movie, beautiful art style, great story. I'm definitely looking forward to more of that, and that was all Sony. That was Sony's thing, and Sony did a great job. They knocked it out of the park. It didn't do too great in the box office, unfortunately. I think it should have did a hell of a lot better in the box office. It didn't. However, it did make up for it in the awards section. It made a lot of awards, so Spider-Verse, thumbs up. MCU Spider-Man, I also give that a thumbs up, but we all know MCU Spider-Man has its problems. Mainly, it's too much into the MCU, if that makes sense. I always felt like as if it focused too much on the world around Spider-Man instead of focusing on Spider-Man's world itself. And obviously, a lot of people know that, Tony Stark, Iron Man, very, very heavy on MCU Spider-Man. It made sense with the story, it's Civil War where he was introduced and Tony becoming his new mentor, but like I said, I think they kind of overdid it with MCU Spider-Man, MCU Spider-Man, MCU Spider-Man. Look, here's Iron Man, here's Captain America, here's this, here's that. That was all cool and all, but what I wanted was more of a Spider-Man world within the MCU. Perfect example, Marvel's Spider-Man, the game. PS4, you know it. I know it, we all know it, I'm playing it right now. It's a Spider-Man game, it's a Spider-Man story, all about Spider-Man's world, but you could tell it's within a bigger Marvel universe. You see the Avengers Tower, you see the Wakandian Embassy, you see Doctor Strange's house and everything. That's kind of what I was hoping for with MCU Spider-Man, well, at least with his solo movies. I was kind of hoping for more Spider-Man stories within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, you could see more of, the Iron Mans and the Captain Americas in the Avengers movies instead of them being in Spider-Man's solo movies. That's kind of what I was hoping for. We didn't get that. If you've been following me along, I enjoyed Spider-Man Homecoming. I liked Far From Home even better. I believe Tom Holland still has some contracts with Sony, so yeah, he's definitely going to be... he's going to stay as Spider-Man. However, hopefully now, with the newer movies to come, I think he has 2 more movies in his contract unless he signs some more. Hopefully these next movies focus more on Spider-Man, without having to worry about the distraction of the MCU. They could push the whole Tony Stark, Iron Man thing aside. It got resolved in Far From Home. We know Tony Stark is dead, and... well, I guess you can't really call Spider-Man the new Iron Man anymore, but he's just going to be his own Spider-Man, and I think that's a great thing going forward. But yeah, this is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely insane. Like I said, this is both good news and bad news. The good news is Sony's got Spider-Man back. Bad They have done some bad things with Spider-Man in the past. We all know that. Spider-Man 3, the movie, isn't as great as everybody wanted it to be. Spider-Man 2 is still superior to every other Spider-Man movie out there. But, you know, Sony, people give them a lot of crap. You know, I gave them a lot of crap in the past. But when you look back at it, a lot of the things that Sony did with Spider-Man are actually pretty good, you know? I mean, you think the first Spider-Man movie was great. Spider-Man 2 was great. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, you know, they have their problems. But you could kind of see what Sony was trying to do. They were trying to build a bigger Spider-Man universe. They just kind of shoved it all in way too fast. That kind of sounds dirty, but, you know. And, of course, you look at other things. You look at Spectacular Spider-Man, which was a Sony Spider-Man TV show or cartoon, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely phenomenal. The greatest Spider-Man TV show or cartoon, in my opinion, in many others' opinions. Then you got Into the Spider-Verse, which was great. Marvel Spider-Man the game, obviously, that's a Sony thing, with PlayStation exclusive. They just bought Insomniac Games, so congratulations to Insomniac for joining the Sony Worldwide Studios. Sony did a lot of good with Spider-Man, you know? When you really think about it, like I said, people give them a lot of crap. I've given them some crap before in the past. But they've done a lot of good things with Spider-Man, and I think that I'm not disappointed that he's no longer in the MCU, but I could kind of see maybe new hope for this MCU Spider-Man, because I like MCU Spider-Man. I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man, which I guess now we'll just call him Tom Holland Spider-Man, since he's no longer MCU Spider-Man. But I liked what they were doing with him in the MCU. I just kind of wanted more, and maybe hopefully now we'll get more, or maybe Sony will just completely drop the ball. Only time will tell. Maybe they'll drop the ball and they'll come crawling back to Disney and they'll squeeze him back into the MCU somehow and just say that he was off doing other things without interacting with the other characters, which they could easily do. That could easily be done. Sony can make their own Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland, let him fight all of his own villains, let him fight Scorpion, let him fight, you know, their own Tom Hardy Venom, let him fight Carnage, let him fight whoever, you know, the Sinister Six they could do Doc Ock again, they could do the Green Goblin, Oscorp, let them do all of that, and if by some chance it flops, they could probably always go back to Disney and be like, alright, how can we squeeze him back into the MCU, since he already was established, unlike Andrew Garfield, which he couldn't have been squeezed into the MCU as much as many people would have liked him to be in the MCU, but there was just so much in between where it's like, well, wait a minute, where was he during this point? Where was he during that point? Where was the Avengers during this event? Where was Spider-Man during that event? But anyway, that does it for this little video. Really quick, really impromptu, just breaking news I was just completely shocked about. I wanted to get my thoughts out there. These are my very early thoughts, and I'm cautiously optimistic, if I'm going to leave it at that. Very cautiously optimistic. Sony, like I said, they have done some good things for Spider-Man before. They've done a couple of bad things, but maybe we could actually see more Spider-Man stories instead of just Spider-Man story within the bigger Marvel Cinematic Universe as a distraction. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you think this is a good idea, or actually a good move, I should say? Do you think this is a good move or a bad move on Sony? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And until next time, this is your friendly neighborhood ELT, signing out. Please click the big red button to subscribe to the channel, and then click on the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. It really helps me out when you do that, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you want to go the extra mile, you can join the ELT Network, and for just $5 a month, get access to exclusive loyalty badges that can be seen in comments and live chat, custom emojis, and exclusive videos and or live streams. Or if you prefer something more physical, you can pick up some merch ranging from shirts to hoodies to mugs. You can also follow me on social media, but I must warn you, things get pretty crazy over there. All these links and more can be found in the description of the video.